Alright everybody, here's lesson 7-2, congruence and writing congruent statements. We learned in lesson 1 that we want to see if things are congruent. So we check to see if they're congruent by doing transformations. Now in this lesson, we're going to take shapes and we're going to write the congruent statements to know what parts go together. What parts go together makes a big deal in using this information, because right now we're just learning the basics. We want to be able to use it later on down the road to measure shadows and measure bigger rooms and work off of blueprints and things of that nature. So we're going to need to know the basics, and I know that these are a little dry, but as we get through them, you'll see that down the road we'll be able to use this information as we go. So let's take a look at number 1 here. We're going to write the congruent statements that go with the corresponding parts. So all you do is take a look at the two shapes and see what goes together. On all these examples, you're very lucky because the congruent marks are already there. So if the congruency marks are already there, it makes this very easy. The marks that are the same are what go together. So look, here's angle F and here's angle H, and they both have one little swoop. So that one little swoop tells you that, hey, those are congruent. So here's how you would write it. You'd write angle F, and here's the symbol for congruent, so you don't have to write congruent all the time. It's an equal sign with a little squiggly above it. And then angle H. So angle F is congruent to angle H. The other ones, now G is the same angle both times. So it seems a little weird, but you're going to write angle G is congruent to angle G. Now other ways to name these angles are FGE and HGJ. You can say that, but I'm okay with the one letter. Okay, E and J go together, so you'd write angle E is congruent to angle J. Right? Now, angles are one thing, and we can all see that these triangles not only have angles, but they have sides as well. So we have to do the same thing for the sides. So for the sides, you look to see, again, the congruency marks. There's the 1 dash marks on both of those sides of that triangle. So you would say segment FG, so that's FG with a line above it, is congruent to segment HG. Okay, and I apologize for that 6 looking G there. We're working on it. Alright, so FG congruent to HG. FE and HJ and then of course finally you got right here EG and JG. Okay? Now, this is what you're going to do for all the shapes. You're going to look at what goes together, and then when you figure out what goes together, you're just going to write me some congruency statements. It's quick, it's simple, it doesn't take very long, but it's something that you have to do right. Because when we start putting measurements on these things, then you're going to have more to do. Okay? So, you can do it for triangles. You can see all the markings there. You can do it for, you can see all these markings here. You can do it for the triangles. You can do it for the quadrilateral. Now you're just going to have 4 angle congruency statements and 4 side congruency statements. Key is, make sure you list them all. Don't leave anything out. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you to do this without. You can see here, there are no congruency statements. So the key is looking and seeing what goes together. It's pretty obvious here that this angle is a right angle. Okay, so you would say angle B is congruent to angle H. Okay. And then you would continue with what you were writing. You do all the congruency statements like normal. You'd put them all together. And then once you wrote out how many congruency statements are we going to have here, you're going to have 6. You're going to have the 3 angles, and you're going to have the 3 sides. When you're done with that, now you just go in the Wayback Machine and you do exactly what you did in lesson 1. How would we get there? What transformation would we do? And on this one, and they want you to be specific. They don't want it. We don't want something where it's just, oh well, just because it does. It needs to be specific. So when you're looking at this, what transformation exactly is going to get us there? So what you want to do here is, you can see the orientation does not change here. Right? The orientation does not change at all. It's facing the same way, it's the same size, so this is just a translation. And you want to make sure you tell me not just that it's a translation, but exactly how far it's going to be translated. So you can see we're going to translate 2 units to the right, 1, 2, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So when you're done writing out this and this, then you want to say it's a translation of 2 units right and 5 units down. Okay? Students, the most important thing here is not to leave any piece out. It seems easy, and I understand that, and I'm glad, but you want to make sure you do all the parts. You want to make sure you hit this, you hit these, and then you explain exactly what that transformation is, not just that you move it around a little bit. Okay, guys? So, keep it moving, keep it rolling. You guys are doing a great job, and we'll hit you up with lesson 3 here in a little bit.